This is how you know that you really love a game. When you're doing a spoiler review for a game that nobody else is probably going to do a spoiler review for. I mean, there's definitely going to be other spoiler reviews, but I don't know. I wasn't planning on doing a spoiler review for Ghost of Tsushima, but it's a game that just stuck with me. It's something I want to talk about, and I want to be able to talk about it with other people, but I wasn't able to do that in my regular review because I didn't want to give away spoilers. So this is going to be a spoiler-filled review of Ghost of Tsushima, the new game for PlayStation 4. So if you have not played it yet and you don't want to be spoiled, this is your chance to run and hide. And you're probably thinking to yourself, well, where is that spoiler review for The Last of Us 2? Look, life happened. I mean, I'm poor at time management. I mean, hell has frozen over in my household. That is how bad at time management I am. So without further ado, I want to talk about some things in Ghost of Tsushima that I really dug. Plot points, characters, if there's anything I missed in terms of gameplay in my spoiler-free review of Ghost of Tsushima, I'll talk about it here as well. I don't think there will be, but it may come up if it dawns on me in my head where it's like, oh, you gotta talk about that, you forgot to talk about that! So it may happen, but mostly it's going to be about characters, story beats, how the plot plays out, because right at the beginning of the game, they just throw you right into the middle of a battle. It's like Rise Son of Rome for Xbox. You remember that game? Yeah, nobody did, because I don't think anybody played it a lot, because it didn't get good reviews. Just hacking and slashing your way. You're in the middle of a battle on a beach against the Mongols, and ultimately, you get knocked out in the middle of battle, then you wake up, and there's this girl there that is caring for you. Her name is Yuna, but you don't have any of your equipment, so you have to sneak around and get your equipment before you can actually open the open world stuff. And right off the bat, they have you fight the main villain, Khotin Khan, who I will refer to in this review as... It's funny because you were fighting the main villain right off the bat, and I'm just like, wait, well, hold on. Am I supposed to win? Like, is this something that I'm supposed to be good at already? Like, am I supposed to be this expert samurai already? And you're clearly not, because it's right after he hits you a few times, it goes black, and I was like, oh, is that supposed to happen? And it does, in order to progress the story forward. So, your mentor, Lord Shimura, gets captured by... Ultimately, your character, Jin, comes to the realization that he has to get his mentor, Lord Shimura, back from Khotin Khan. So this is where the open world opens up, and you get to explore a lot of Tsushima. It's after that prologue, after that battle, and after you go and get all of your equipment back that you previously had with Yuna. She actually guides you to your equipment. It's after you get it all back where the open world actually opens up. You can explore Tsushima Island freely at your own will. Getting your allies feels like it takes a while because Jin ultimately comes to the realization that he needs allies to storm Castle. I believe it's Castle Kaneda is the first one that you storm. I think it's Castle Kaneda. And he realizes he needs his allies to help him storm that castle. So he gathers a bunch of allies, and he eventually recruits Yuna, who at first, when she introduces herself in the prologue, you're like, oh no, this isn't going to go well, because she says she's a thief. And right then and there, I was like, this girl's bad. But Yuna, I will say this, Yuna, mind you, Yuna ends up being the best character in the game. She is the most fleshed out character. She may be a thief, but she's looking ahead to the future. She's got that kind spirit in her, even though she is a thief. She knows what she did is wrong, and it just makes it all more tragic for her when her brother, later on in the game, follows Jin on a mission. After Yuna rejects Jin's offer to accompany him on that mission, she's like, no, I don't want to keep doing this. I can't keep helping you. You gotta help me. You gotta let me go. You gotta let me do what I want to do. I want to escape this island. I want to make a better life for me and my brother. We can get off of this island, we can have a new life somewhere, and we can be free. That's what she wants. So it makes it all the more tragic when her brother accompanies Jin on his mission. They both get captured by Khan, and then Taka, who's her brother, just gets beheaded in the most brutal way possible in front of Jin. Taka was an awesome character already, and you just killed him. I'm not pissed. They gave it gave Yuna some motivation to stick around and help Jin, and it made her character arc that much more impactful. But I was just like, dude, the Jesus. I was like, no, Taka, I wasn't just going, no. In that moment, I was also going, that was tragic. That was the moment, that was the one moment in the story where I was like, God damn, Taka he just got beheaded. That sucks, and his headless body is just sitting there. His head's all the way over here, and there's a big battle going on where you have to fight the Mongols right next to his body and his head. And then later on, after you beat the Mongols, Yuna comes to try and help you, and she's like, where is my brother? And all of a sudden, she sees his headless body, and here's how you know how good of a character she is. She doesn't blame Jin at all. She understands that the decision to accompany Jin was Taka's decision. Taka, while selfish, and he did this to himself, knew what he was getting himself into, and I think he knew that he was going to his death. I love that Yuna does not blame Jin at all for what happened to Taka. It makes her that much more strong, powerful. She has an impact on Jin. She said she was a thief and she wanted to get off the island, but they have a common goal now. I love that aspect of Yuna's character. She is by far my favorite character in this entire game. Just how everything just kind of circles back to her relationship with Jin and how the two of them kind of make each other stronger. How she kind of puts Jin in his place and tells him, you can't just use these samurai abilities. You have to learn how to adapt and fight like us. Whereas Jin is always riding that line between the samurai code and whether or not he should actually become somebody else and be known as the Ghost, which is something that is brought up later in the game when you rescue Lord Shimura and you go to Castle Shimura. And you find out that Lord Shimura is not all that pleased with some of the tactics you're doing. Like, later on in the game, you have to make your way into a Mongol camp to, like, poison their milk supply. And he's not in your mentor, Lord Shimura, is not too happy about that. He's like, nope, the Shogun knows what you were doing, whoever the hell the Shogun is, because the game doesn't explain the Shogun or the Shogun. I have no idea how the hell you say that word. But whoever the hell he is, he's like, nope, he's not too impressed with what you're doing. He's pissed at what you're doing. I'm pissed at what you're doing. You're breaking your samurai code. You're not honoring your family. You're not honoring your clan. You are now a disgraced samurai. You have committed so many crimes. And that just adds another layer to the story that I wasn't really expecting. Lord Shimura being kind of pissed at his pupil. And then at the end of the game, here's the thing. I thought fighting Khan was gonna be the final mission of the game, which, by the way, the fuck that fight. I hated that fight. I didn't hate it in the sense where it was like, God damn it, that was such a terrible fight. I hated it in the fact that it was actually challenging. I don't know why. I felt like there were times where I just kept dying against Khan. But I came to the realization that it just wasn't frustratingly challenging. It was challenging in a way where it was rewarding. You know? So it was like, I died a few times and I was just like, this is going to be one of those fights where you just keep dying, keep dying, keep dying, keep dying, keep dying, and keep dying, and you can't beat this guy. The thing is that it's you against Khan one-on-one, and it's one of those boss fights where he has the health bar, and after you beat him there, you have to fight off more Mongols, but then he joins in the crowd and fights you along while you're fighting the other Mongols as well. And he does it either twice or 3 times, and it's the most annoying thing in the game because it's just like, you're trying to kill the other Mongols, but you have to kill him too, and you're just trying to figure out how to do it, and you're trying to figure out what stance is the best to use against Khan. It's one of the most annoying things. Like I said, it is challenging, but once you beat him, it's the most rewarding and satisfying thing ever. And that's where I thought the game was going to end, and I was like, okay. And then there was another mission, and I said to myself, okay, maybe this is like an epilogue mission. Maybe this is just Jin meeting with Lord Shimura to discuss his actions, and then boom, roll credits. No, there's an entire another tale where you fight Lord Shimura. He's like, nope, you're being disgraced. You are out of your clan. You are no longer a samurai. Jin realizes these motives, and he's like, well, I guess we're gonna have to fight then. You fight your mentor, and you have to make that choice as to whether or not you're going to spare Lord Shimura or if you're going to kill Lord Shimura. I ended up sparing Lord Shimura because I felt, even though he felt and Jin felt within that it was the way to honor the samurai code and was the most honorable thing to do, give a warrior an honorable death, I spared him because I was like, the way Jin is portrayed, yes, he's killing all these Mongols, but he doesn't seem like he's that person that would just kill somebody like Lord Shimura like that. So I kept him alive. And I'm kind of glad I did. I want to, maybe when I replay the game, I'll do it the other way and see what happens, because I don't know if there's any differences in cutscenes or anything. I haven't looked online yet. But I just felt that sparing him was the right path for Jin to go down instead of killing him. Giving him the honor, giving Lord Shimura the honorable death that he had begged for, I just don't think that would have been in character with the Jin Sakai that we have come to know and play as throughout this entire game, even though you are slicing up Mongols for the entire game. I feel like he's not as cold-hearted as that, and I felt like he moved past a lot of that. So I felt that sparing him was the true character arc of Jin Sakai, and I think other people are going to think differently, and that's the beauty of this choice in the game, is that people are going to think differently about this choice. Then the credits roll, you can skip them after a while, and you go back into the open world, and then Yuna comes back, and she's like, we still have work to do here, and I'm glad she came back. She didn't leave. She clearly cares about Jin. She's the one who nursed him back to health. She took all the advice from him. She was trying to give him advice, even if he was just like, no, we need to storm these castles to get everybody back. I think that was a perfect epilogue, and I love how he's kind of in a dilapidated house, and he's just going to live as an outlaw on the run for all of his crimes, which I think would be a really great idea to explore in a sequel, by the way. This game has a perfect 3-act structure. It's the prologue, which isn't the open world stuff. Then you get to Act 1, which opens up the open world. It opens up the island of Tsushima to freely explore. And that act involves raiding a castle. Act 2 involves raiding a castle. Act 3 involves raiding a castle and killing Khan. It's the perfect 3-act structure for a video game. You just do the same thing 3 acts in a row, which I think people will find a bit repetitive. But at the same time, it's so much fun. Like, there's a lot of variety in the main missions. The side quests, not so much. The main missions have quite a bit of variety, even though a lot of them end with defeat the Mongols. It's a lot more fun in the main missions rather than the side quests. Raiding 3 castles just felt like it was coming full circle to something in the story. That's how I felt. So those are my thoughts on Ghost of Tsushima, some things I wanted to talk about with Ghost of Tsushima. Not quite a lot that I talked about, but just a few major things that I thought were very important that I couldn't get off my chest, that I wanted to express, in a video. Some things that I really loved about Ghost of Tsushima that I just couldn't talk about in my spoiler-free review. So guys, stay tuned very soon. I talked about time management at the beginning of this video. I have been watching the TV show Cursed on Netflix that aired last Friday. Yeah, I'm still not finished, so yeah, clearly my time management isn't that good. But I will have a review for that coming very soon. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching. My name is Alex Madden, and I'll see you at the movies somewhere.